swing. Throw it, I say! Throw it!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Ready, Moab.
Welcome, wrestling fans, once again to the Nation Network. Tony Schiavone with you here, and this is the NWA back here on the Nation Network. And tonight, the tag team champions in a non-title match. It'll be Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson going up against the Rock and Roll Express in the main event.
It's not WrestleFest on the arcade. It's not WrestleMania on the NES. It's not No Mercy on the N64. It's just a gunshot away from those fine retro games on Project 64. Retextured, remodeled, right on your home PC. I'm aboard, but watch your step. It's the all-new WWF Legends Challenge 64.
All right, fans, ready to kick off the action tonight. Wrestling out of Seattle, Washington, Greg the Hammer Valentine. He's going to be going up against the reigning NWA United States champion. It's a non-title match. One thing we all know, anytime you get in the ring with a champion, a victory is going to propel you towards either that title or perhaps another. But either way, it's going to absolutely rocket you up in the standings. And Greg the Hammer Valentine knows what an opportunity this is going to be. One thing anybody who steps inside the ring with Greg Valentine has to be aware of is that lethal figure 4 leg lock. When he applies it, not too many people have ever been able to survive it. And here comes the reigning NWA United States Champion, Wahoo McDaniel. Since winning that championship over a month ago, Wahoo McDaniel has defended it time and time again, and he's taken on all challengers, including tonight. It's a non-title match, but he doesn't take any nights off. Going up against the likes of Greg the Hammer Valentine, I think, goes a long way to prove that he's a fighting champion. Referee calls for the bell. Action's underway as they meet up here in the middle of the ring. Back body drop, nicely done. Wahoo McDaniel with that chop to the head of Greg the Hammer Valentine. We mentioned the figure 4 leg lock earlier on. Valentine does it like nobody else. We know the World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair also uses that figure 4 leg lock with great success. Wahoo McDaniel, however, has got a sleeper hold, and when he locks that in, if you can't find a way to the ropes or a way to escape right away, it's going to be lights out. It'll be very interesting to see which of these two men is able to get a hold of the other one. And by a hold, I'm talking about their favorite finishing maneuver, because I think that is going to determine the winner. Valentine right now going to work on that champion. Big roundhouse right hand was blocked by Wahoo, and now Wahoo's got him up. Drops him head first on the canvas. Later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be seeing Jimmy Jam Garvin in action here. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin will be here. I also understand that one of the top contenders for the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Harley Race, is in attendance. We'll be hearing from Harley, the former world champion, at some point later on tonight as well. Irish whip to the ropes. Back elbow by Valentine right to the jaw of Wahoo. One thing we know about Greg Valentine, as much as he wants to get a hold of the United States Championship, he's also had his sights set on the television champion, the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. And Valentine now pulling back, using the ropes as added leverage to go to work on the arm of Wahoo McDaniel. You see him wearing that elbow brace on the left arm, and that is exactly the one that Greg the Hammer Valentine, I beg your pardon, targeted. One of the things about professional wrestling, when these guys go in the ring night after night, there's no way you can be at 100%. And there are times where you will wear protective gear, but it's also putting a bit of a bullseye on a weak spot. Valentine's got to be looking at that knee. Wahoo McDaniel's wearing that brace on the right knee, and if he can get that figure 4 leg lock on the champion, that could be a very short night. As right now, Valentine again going to work on that perhaps injured left arm of Wahoo McDaniel. Now, at the same point in time, it could be a decoy. It could be the other arm that's actually hurting him, and he'll figure that Valentine would target the one with the brace. And now Valentine comes off the middle rope, and nobody home. Wahoo baited him in. But Valentine turns it right back around in his favor, dropping Wahoo throat first across the top rope. Nice move right there by Wahoo McDaniel. Variation of the arm drag, but using the leg. And there is a devastating gut buster. Wahoo's in trouble. Valentine goes for the cover, does not hook the leg. Wahoo easily able to kick out on a 1 count. And now look at Valentine stretching the champion back. Oh, here we go. Going to work now, but surprising to me, going after the left leg. The right one seems to be the one that might be compromised going into the match. And again, Greg the Hammer Valentine working on the head and the neck area of Wahoo McDaniel. Chief Wahoo, a former NFL player. Played for the New York Jets at one point in his career. And again, Valentine thinks he's done enough damage. I don't believe he's going to get him. There's a 1 count, and again, Wahoo able to come out the back door, and Valentine still failing to hook the leg. Now, it is conceivable that the Hammer really isn't planning on pinning him with these attempts, and that he is just trying to see what he's got left in the tank, as they say. Dropping Wahoo head first on the top turnbuckle. The fans not too happy with Greg the Hammer Valentine right now, trying to egg on the champion. Oh, there's the Hammer. He just dropped that elbow like nobody's business. Right on the back of the head and neck of Wahoo. He might be done. Valentine went after the legs, and you got to believe he was thinking figure 4 leg lock. Oh, and look at Chief Wahoo. He's got one of his own, and now Valentine doesn't know where he's at. There's a sleeper hold. Very close to the ropes, but I don't think Valentine realizes it. Referee asking him if he wants to give it up. And Valentine manages to escape. And now the Hammer. Oh, to that figure 4 leg lock, and it's on him. Wahoo McDaniel's in a lot of pain. He might have to surrender. He does. And Greg Valentine picks up a major victory right here over the United States champion in a non-title match. We're going to take a look back at some of the action here. Well, perhaps we will, perhaps we won't. Greg the Hammer Valentine victorious, and I'll tell you what, look for big things. Oh, hold on, Valentine not done yet. Continues the attack. Referee going to step in. We're going to take a break. Attention wrestling fans, if you're having a great time here on the Nation Network, then we encourage you to go visit Dre 41 right after this program. Dre 41 with some of the greatest hockey action you've ever seen, featuring games from Japan that you won't see in the United States. Whether it's professional wrestling, boxing, or just an overall good time, get spicy with Dre 41. Wrestling fans, right after this program is done, enter the danger zone. Jump over and check out J-Rock 73. Tell him Vince sent you. And we are back, and here comes handsome Harley Race. He is the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Has been going around to anyone that'll listen to him that he is going to come and take that title back once again. I know a lot of people out there, they seem to think that Ric Flair
is the World Heavyweight Champion and nobody can stand up to him. Well, I've proven time and time again that I can and I will. You see, the word former doesn't really fit my personality very well. I know he's been spending a lot of time over in Texas, but I'm right here in his own backyard, so don't duck me. And anybody who wants to step up and find out just how tough Harley Race is, I got a standing open invitation right here. I don't care who you are, I don't care when it is. Ric Flair, you better understand something. Harley.
On the phone, Terry Funk, another former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, making his way down the aisle. I can only imagine what this is going to be about. Talk about a meeting of the minds.
Now, Harley, you and I go way back. We know each other. And you know, just like I do, that I am a former World Heavyweight Champion as well. And you're right. Ric Flair's been spending a lot of time in my home state of Texas lately. Look, I don't know what your logic is in coming out here tonight, but you're taking up my time. So it better be good, Terry. Well, the thing is, I was sitting in the back and I couldn't help but overhear what you're saying. And the way I see it, you've had your shots. People like me, we've been waiting a little while. Now, I've been pretty good at winning matches, and I ain't seen a whole lot of title matches, so maybe it's your turn to wait. And maybe it's time for me to step up. You know, it ain't bad enough that the world champion's dragging that title all the way over to Texas and defending it there when he should be right here. But now Texas is going to come in my backyard and tell me what I could and couldn't do, what I should wait for. I am Harley Race, and I don't wait for nobody. No, don't understand me. I respect the hell out of you, I do. But I just think at some point in time, it's time to get to the back of the line and work your way back up again. You understand? What I understand is you might be needing a little bit of a lesson. So if you think you're able to jump the line around here and get ahead of me, I say, why don't you prove it? You talk a big game, but I ain't seen you do nothing inside these ropes to make me believe it's you over me. Well, I'll tell you what, I think that sounds like a fine idea. You and I could have a good old-fashioned wrestling match. And we can do that here tonight if you like. And then when I beat you, you'll know. Ric Flair will know. And all these people here will know that I am the rightful #1 contender. All I know is when we get in the ring tonight, I am going to make an example of you. And Ric Flair will never want to wrestle me after that. You may be tough, you may be ornery, but I am the baddest there is in the NWA, Terry. Don't you doubt that for one moment. And tonight, I will show you firsthand why I am the #1 man.
Well, sounds like we've got another feature match to look forward to later on tonight. My goodness, what a night it's going to be. little bit of AEW, not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody. All right, fans, we are back and ready for more action. What a night. Making his way down the aisle, Chick Donovan. This journeyman wrestler heading towards the squared circle tonight to take on gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Understand, after talking to gorgeous Jimmy Garvin recently, he says he's got a surprise that'll be coming up real soon here in the NWA. Not sure exactly what he's got in mind. Chick Donovan in the ring, and the crowd seems to be enjoying him. Wait till they get a load of the next one. And here he comes, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. One thing we can say about Jimmy Garvin is he is never going to be short on humility. There is no one who loves Jimmy Garvin nearly as much as Jimmy Garvin. Well, there's an old saying, it's not bragging if you can back it up, and Jimmy Garvin has done pretty well for himself here in the NWA. Look at this, he and Chick Donovan with a shake of hands. And now, what just happened here? Hello. Well, it appears it doesn't matter if it's 18, 19, 20, 23. As long as 2K's in front, you're going to have something to look forward to. Jimmy Garvin now going to work on the hand that just shook his moments ago. Move to the midsection, and now Jimmy Garvin dropping him head first. Might have knocked him out. There's a referee. Oh, that's a quick night for gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Let's take a look back. Didn't take long. Garvin bouncing the head of Chick Donovan off the mat. All right, we will be back in just a moment. Harley Race and Terry Funk, and I don't think it's going to be a short match like this one, that's for sure.
will never pin me. Now it's everybody's favorite time.
Wrestling fans, if you're enjoying the content here on the Nation Network, we encourage you to check out Blazed Radio. Join Blaze for his unique take on E-Fed Wrestling.
Hey, Walker. There's a shotgun stunner, but law through the table at the same time.
From 2K to AEW Fight Forever, as well as talk show podcasts and NFL Red Zone coverage.
I love that I can listen to football commentary where the important conversations happen, like the rack on the ref.
As soon as we're finished here, jump over to Blaze Radio and tell him Vince sent you. All right, fans, we are ready for what I consider a co-main event matchup. A battle between two former NWA World Heavyweight Champions, two men who are anxious to get an opportunity at Ric Flair the World Championship, and I can tell you right now, whoever wins this match is going to have bragging rights. Handsome Harley Race heading down the aisle. Doesn't care for the fans, never asked for their support. You know, the interesting thing when you look at the triangle we have going right now between Terry Funk, Harley Race, and then, of course, the world champion Ric Flair is they all have one thing in common, and that is the fans don't like any of them. See that glare by Harley Race up the ramp, and here comes the native of Amarillo, Texas, Terry Funk. I mentioned earlier the fans do not really care for Terry Funk, and it's obvious that he doesn't care for them either. You got Harley Race representing St. Louis, Missouri. And Terry Funk, of course, coming out of the state of Texas. And Terry Funk wasted no time at all. Comes up with the Luthez press, talking about NWA former champions. Luthez was a great one. Referee just got in the way. Terry Funk knocked him out. Whenever the referee regains consciousness, this match may be a DQ. It's up to his judgment. Spine buster on Harley Race, and he's feeling it right now. Probably not as bad as that referee. And he's going to let them go on. Talk about the wrong time at the wrong place. And now Harley Race tries to turn things around. A couple of heavy hammers right down across the back with the forearm. Goes for a cover. You're not going to pin Terry Funk. Not like that. Didn't hook the leg. It also didn't do nearly enough damage. And now Terry Funk fighting his way back up. Tornado. That Texas tornado maneuver driving the head, much like we saw Jimmy Garvin earlier on. And the two men collide, neither one gaining a clear advantage. Nice block by Terry Funk, and now comes up with a backbreaker. Handsome Harley Race not doing so well tonight. This was not a scheduled match earlier on, but it took place when the challenge was made. And now Terry Funk's going to go for the pile driver. He got him. That might be the match. It is very difficult to kick out after a pile driver. There's two. He got a shoulder up. Terry Funk cannot believe it. This crowd ringside is now on their feet. They thought it was over. One thing about Harley Race, we all know he is rugged as they come. And now dropping him on the back of his head one more time. And now Harley Race trying to get the momentum on his side. Rear chin lock, nicely done as he pulls back. Oh, look at the torque on the neck of Terry Funk. Harley Race locking in what they call a rest hold. It gives him a chance to rest and regain his stamina while making his opponent carry all the weight and suffer all of the damage. Back elbow caught Terry Funk, and now look at this. Harley Race throws him across the ring. These two men legends in the NWA. And Harley can go for another one. There's a pile driver this time on Terry Funk. Let's see if he can kick out. There's two, and now both men have hit with a pile driver. They both like to use that as a finishing hold. Terry Funk just reversed what I couldn't tell you exactly what Harley was trying to do, but Terry Funk turned it inside out, gets a 1 count though. Well, any lesser man would have been defeated by now by either of these two men and what they've handed out, but these are two tough guys, and they also understand that in order to have that claim of next in line for the NWA World Championship, you're going to have to win this one. Terry Funk now with that crossface pulling way back on the neck, continues to work the head and neck area. Harley Race with a looping left hand that connects. And now there's a spinning toe hold, taking a page out of the book at Terry Funk. One of Terry Funk's favorite maneuvers, that spinning toe hold. Puts an enormous amount of pressure on the joints, and now hooking a leg. Will that be enough? Terry Funk gets that shoulder up again. Well, I can tell you one thing about Terry Funk. It takes a lot to keep him down. He can absorb a ton of punishment. Both of these men can. That's why this might not be over anytime soon. There's a double axe handle to the head coming off the ropes. And Terry Funk in a lot of trouble now. Harley Race got off to a slow start, but he has more than made up for it here in the latter part of the match. Snapmare takes him over. And now look at this, Harley Race going to work on the trapezius muscle. Really digging in. It becomes a bit of a nerve pinch. And you see the look on the face of Terry Funk. He's in a lot of pain right now. Harley Race brings him back up again. Jawbreaker by Terry Funk. Big clothesline, and down goes Harley Race. The man who has been called middle-aged and crazy is now back in the driver's seat. Gonna go for another pile driver. You're not gonna get up from this one. That's gotta be it. Goes for the cover quickly, hooks the leg. That might be over. Harley Race, there's two, and make it three. Terry Funk has just punched his ticket and definitely taken a front seat. As we take a look, he couldn't do it with one, but the second one was just too much to ask for. You're getting dropped on the top of your head. Your vertebrae are being compressed. There was a 2 count, almost a 3 in there, and well, look at him shooting out of that pile driver. Terry Funk telling the referee, leave me alone, I got this. Tremendous victory for Terry Funk, and if Ric Flair's watching, he better take note. We'll be back with the main event in just a moment.
So my entire life, I knew that I always wanted to be able to give back and help others, especially financially, because that's something that I never really had. And around the same time that I found Camper, I got my first big YouTube paycheck of $7,000. So I decided at that point I would start Camper Cares, a charity project inspired by Camper to help animals, families, and fosters. And so Camper Cares was born, and every month since, we have been donating a part of our ad revenue to animals, families, and fosters in need. Today, we are at Underdog Rescue in Moab. Underdog services the Four Corners area in Navajo Nation. It is a really special area that needs constant help and attention. Recently, the median household income here is $20,000. Unemployment rate is near 50%, and around 1/3 of the homes don't even have running water or electricity. Not only that, there are stray dogs everywhere. Just in Navajo Nation, there are 250,000 stray dogs. And in the Four Corners area, around 500,000 stray animals. The worst part is the life expectancy of a res dog is only 2 years old due to the lack of food and water, the harsh elements, predators, and life-threatening injuries. So I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, especially because there are 4 other shelters in this region, but they are high kill shelters, and 93% of those animals in there are killed. Not to mention, there are only 2 vets serving the entire Navajo Nation. This area needs our help. I am so thankful for rescues like Underdog, who are doing such amazing and important work. They really, truly deserve it all. And thank you so much to all of you for making this possible and for making my dreams come true. And just by watching, making a dent in this big problem.
All right, well, Camper got a hold of my credit card last night. You want to show them what we got him? We got you guys. I'm so excited. 1,000 pounds of dog food. Except one catch. You guys got to help me out. 1,000 pounds of dog food will last this rescue about 1 month. So let's just say we need a lot more. So if you want to help, I'm going to put some information in the description with an address where you can send it or a link where you can just get it on Amazon. But at least we got a month down. All loaded up.
Please join us with Camper Cares, ladies and gentlemen, for Underdog Rescue over in Utah. The information is in the description box below this video. We are ready for the main event of the evening. Entering right now, they are the reigning NWA Tag Team Champions representing the Four Horsemen. Beg your pardon. Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. And while it's a non-title match, there's a lot to be proved by both sides in this one. No love lost between these two and their opponents here tonight. Looking at the NWA Tag Team Champions, representing the Four Horsemen, along with the Total Package Lex Luger and the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And here they come, and the crowd on its feet. Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. Former NWA Tag Team Champions looking to get those titles back once again. Well, we already saw one champion defeated here tonight in the non-title match. Can we make that the theme for the evening? We'll find out. Anderson and Tully Blanchard discussing strategy in the corner before the bell. And now, well, look at this, over the top rope and crashing to the hard floor surface. Ricky Morton and Arn Anderson battling it out here in the aisle. They've got 10 seconds to make it back in their neck breaker. Oh my goodness, Ricky Morton in trouble. The Horsemen wasting no time whatsoever, getting an early lead in this match. Spiking the knee of Ricky Morton into the concrete. And Ricky dropping that fist to the head. Referee's count is climbing. Up to 8 now. There's a tag made. Robert Gibson, legal man in the ring. And Gibson will come out just in the nick of time to break the count. Otherwise, they would have had a count out win. But the Rock and Roll Express don't want that. Swing and a miss. And now Robert Gibson with a right. And another one dropping the enforcer here ringside. Right about now, I dare say Arn Anderson is starting to wish that he wouldn't have brought the action out to the floor. Russian leg sweep. That is a painful maneuver inside the ring. It is a lot more lethal on the floor. Robert Gibson once again breaking the count. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to get the win by a count out. Arn Anderson brought the fight to the floor and it backfired on the Horsemen. Your winners, Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. Thank you, fans, for joining us here for NWA 2K18 as part of Retro Rumble. We'll see you next time. So long.